Hi, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to do some mindfulness activity. This activity is going to involve our senses, our taste, smell, touch, sight. And some of you may have heard the word mindful or mindfulness before. Maybe it's something they teach at school or on a show that you watch, or your parents may have talked to you about it. But if you're not familiar, not sure what mindful or mindfulness means, it's very simple. It's just staying focused on one thing at a time. But before we get into our mindfulness activity for today, let's get started with a little bit of movement. So we're going to lay down on our back. Let your arms be long down by your side, your legs long down on the mat. And just imagine that you could draw a circle on the ceiling or the sky with your nose. So just start to take the nose as if you can make that circle on the ceiling. And then start to draw those circles in the other direction. And those circles could be little or they could be really big, but your head stays down as you draw those circles. We'll take one more big circle. And then let your head be still. Let your arms come out wide to the side. And then we're going to reach the arms up so that the hands touch up toward the sky. And then let the arms open out wide. And then bring the hands together, reaching up toward the sky. 2 more times like that. Open the arms wide. And then bring the arms to touch. Last one, arms open wide. And then bring the hands up to touch. With the hands touching, interlace the fingers, bend the elbows, and turn the palms up toward the sky. And then press those palms up to the sky. And just take a couple deep breaths here. One more deep breath. And then let those arms come down by your side. We're going to pull one knee in toward our chest. We can put our hand on the back of our leg. And then just start to roll your ankle in one direction. And then make circles with the foot in the other direction. Good. And then reach that leg up to the sky. The arms come down by the sides and slowly lower the leg all the way down to the mat. Beautiful. Let's draw the other knee in toward the chest. Again, the hands can come behind the leg. And then just roll the ankle in one direction. Doing that a few times, waking up the body. And then roll the ankle in the other direction. And then reach the leg up to the sky. Let the arms come down by the side and slowly lower that leg all the way back down. Awesome. Let's pull both knees into the chest. And we're going to place our hands right on top of our kneecaps. Take our knees together and draw circles again with the knees. So you'll feel yourself just kind of rolling on your low back as you move the knees in circles. We'll do one more circle like this. And then slowly take those circles in the other direction. We'll do 2 more circles. Good. Let the feet come down. Let the legs go long. We're going to place one hand on our belly and one hand on our chest for a check-in. So just notice how you're feeling right now. Notice how you're breathing, where you feel the breath under your hands. And then can you bring to mind a time when you're very focused on what you're doing? For me, a few things that come to mind are if I'm playing a game or doing a sport, not thinking about anything else but what I'm doing. Something else that comes to mind for me is if I'm doing anything creative, if I'm coloring or drawing or building something, all my attention is with that thing. See what comes to mind for you. Great work. You can bend your knees and put your feet on the mat. Go ahead and roll over to your side and then come all the way up to a seat. So, as I said before, we're going to work on a mindfulness activity using our senses. So, to help us with that, I have a little orange, or some people call them clementines or cuties. And if you have one of these at home or another piece of fruit that you would like to use, go ahead and pause the video and grab it. And if you don't, that's absolutely fine. You can use your imagination. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So the first thing we're going to do is just use the sense of sight to kind of look at our fruit. And we're going to notice, the colors and how they change. Mine has some brown spots on it, and then around the brown spots, it's a little yellow, and then the main color is the orange. Just taking a moment, turning the fruit, and just checking out this color. Awesome. So now you can go ahead and take that fruit in your hands and close your eyes. And again, if you don't have a piece of fruit, that's fine. You can just imagine. And just start to run it through your hands. So noticing how it feels. So for me, I can feel these little ridges or divots in the skin. It's kind of bumpy. And then I get to the one end, it's kind of hard and rough where it was attached to the tree. And then there's that other end where I usually start my peel. And just notice what you feel on your fruit. And then slowly open your eyes. And we're going to peel it. So I'm going to start to peel it back. Notice how it feels different on the inside. And I can actually even feel how it starts to pull away. The skin slowly pulls away from the orange. It's a little bit difficult. See what it feels like for you as you peel. Oh, I can actually hear it a little bit too. Notice if there's any sound for you. And now I can start to smell it. Maybe just pause when you can smell the fruit and take a deep breath in and out. Do that again. It smells citrusy and fresh, even a little sweet. So now that I've peeled the fruits, again, I'm going to spread it open and take a piece. I'm just going to put one bite in my mouth. So I could either bite off a piece of fruit or I chose to just peel a piece off. I'm going to put it in my mouth and close my eyes and just start to chew it. And notice how it feels when you chew. And then notice the taste. So for me, with my orange, I notice how it's a little bit firmer when I start to chew, but the inside gets a little softer. And then the flavor is a little bit tart in the beginning. I kind of pucker my mouth, but then the sweetness of the orange comes in. So just notice what texture and taste your fruit has to offer. And if you need to take another bite, go ahead and do that. And then open your eyes. And that's it. That's as simple as mindfulness can be. It's just taking a moment to be with the one thing at a time. So we just spent a couple minutes being with just our fruit and kind of letting everything else that we have to do take a break to be focused on that one thing. So thank you for doing that experiment. And if you've done it before, that's fine. It's good to practice these things because just like anything else with mindfulness, the more you practice it, the easier it gets. We're going to do some mindful movement today, and we're really going to focus on balancing. So when we balance, it helps us be mindful or focused because we've got to keep ourselves steady. So it's a really nice activity to do when you need to find a little focus. So let's get started on our hands and knees and tabletop. And you can just put your fruit off to the side, or if you want to pause the video and finish eating it, you can do that. But we're going to get started in tabletop. So fingers spread nice and wide, knees come under the hips. And we're just going to take some circles with our body or body rolls. So you sink back towards your feet and then roll around to one side, take a big circle, and then sink back down. And we'll do this a few times in one direction. One more circle this way. And then we'll go the other direction to make these circles nice and big. Two more. And then right back up to our tabletop. So we're going to come to our first balance, gazing straight down at the mat. Take your right leg out behind you and lift the toes a little bit up off the floor. So you can stay just like this for your balance. If you're feeling a little wobbly here, that's fine. Just try and stay in the pose. You could also lift your left arm out in front for a little extra challenge in your balance. But let's take 3 deep breaths. One more. Good. If your arm's up, bring it down. If your knee's up, bring that down. So let's take our left foot back. Same thing on this side. We're going to lift the left toes a little bit if that feels okay. We're not falling over. And then again, you can also lift the right arm, but you don't have to. You can keep both hands down if that feels better. And then take 3 deep breaths. One more breath. If the arm's up, you can go ahead and bring that hand down and let the knee come down. You're just going to rise up to stand on your knees and then come to stand at the top of the mat. We're going to take 3 waterfalls here. So spread the feet wide. Take a big breath in, reach the arms up to the sky, and then waterfall down the legs, the arms come down. And then roll back up to stand, reach those arms up, and waterfall again. Rolling up to stand, last one, reach the arms up, and then waterfall down the legs. Good. Come all the way up to stand, reach the arms up, and then the arms come down. Awesome. This time in our waterfall, we'll reach the arms up, and then we'll waterfall down the legs, but we're going to keep our hands down on the floor. So you can come on fingertips, and then step your left leg back and keep your right knee bent. So your back heel's up. So this is going to be a little bit of a balance here. We're going to come up and rise our arms up to the sky. Nice. Just take a couple breaths here. Good. Take your arms out wide like an airplane. And then go ahead and lean over the leg. So as if you're flying your body over your legs. One breath. Good. Bring your hands back down to the mat and bring your back knee down to the mat. Good. We're going to twist to the right and reach our right arm up to the sky. Nice. Bring that right hand down. And then we're going to lift up the back knee and step that foot up to the top of the mat. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the right foot comes back, the heel stays up, the left knee bends. Rising our arms up to the sky, finding a little balance here in a high lunge. Open the arms out wide for that airplane pose. Coming forward over the leg, flying the body over the leg. Nice. Bring those hands down. We're going to bring the back knee down and twist to the left. The left arm comes up. Nice. Bring that hand down. Lift up the back knee and step that foot forward. Slowly roll all the way up to stand. Nice. So let's turn sideways on the mat and take the feet nice and wide. We're going to bring our heels in toward our body. Our toes are facing out toward the corners of the mat. Bend your knees for goddess legs. Arms wide, elbows bend for goddess pose. So staying here is a lot of work. If you want to try and challenge that balance, again, finding focus, You can lift up your heels. We'll stay here for 3, 2, 1. Great work. The heels come down. Stand up and straighten the legs. Turn those toes to face the side of the mat again so our legs are nice and wide. We can put our hands on our hips, and we're just going to fold forward toward the mat, and then let the hands come down to the mat. I'm just going to flow side to side here. So bend the right knee, left leg stays straight, and then take it to the other side. Right leg straight, left knee bend. Couple more times. Bend the right knee, left leg straight. Good. Straighten that right leg, bend the left knee. And do this a few more times, going side to side. And last one, come back to center. We're going to lift up halfway, put our hands on our hips, and then come all the way up to stand. Nice job. Step the feet in toward each other and come back to stand at the top of the mat. So, first one from here is called palm tree. So we reach those arms up to the sky. Our feet are a little bit apart, and then we're going to lift our heels up again. Balancing here on our balls of our feet or our toes for a palm tree. Awesome. Bring the heels down, bring the arms down. So this next one is a little bit more of a challenge, and I want you to only do as much as feels good. So I'm going to talk a bit about balance. First, we're going to stand on our feet, and I want you to find something to look at that's not going to move. Then you can just bend your right knee and come onto your right toes. So this is an option. You can stay here working on balancing here, or you can lift up the knee. So either one of those. If the knee's lifted, maybe you bring the left hand to the right leg. And then maybe you start to change your gaze and twist and look back at your right hand. And it's okay to wobble, and it's okay to fall. You just try again. Awesome. Come back and let everything come down. Whew, that was some work. So let's try it again on the other side. So remember, we have to get ourselves focused for balance, because that's what we need our mind to be on, is our balance. So start by finding something that you can look at that's not going to move. And take your time. Bend the left knee. Toes can stay down, or we can lift up the knee. And this might be where you stop. You're really working hard here and you feel very focused, just stay here. If you want a little more challenge, right hand to the left leg. And then you can twist your body and look back at the left hand. Keep breathing. Try for one more breath. Awesome. Unwind and bring that foot down. Ooh, just shake out those legs. Arms come down by the side. Stand up tall. Breathe in and reach those arms up to the sky, and then breathe out and reach the hands down to the feet. We're going to place those hands flat down on the mat, And step the feet back for downward facing dog. So that upside down V. With our fingers spreading wide and our back stretching nice and long. So we're going to take a little balance here. If you want to try it, just go ahead and lift the right leg up. And then bring the right leg down. And then we try the other side. Lift the left leg. Good. Bring the left leg down. Bring both knees down to the mat. Big toes together. Take your knees apart and sink your hips for child's pose. Let your forehead come down to the mat and just do one of those check-ins. Noticing where the mind is, how the body feels, and what the breath is doing. Good. Send the hands under the shoulders. Lift up the head and chest. And we'll come to sit down on our bottoms. So we're going to take our last balance. And again, you can choose how far you want to go. So bring your fingertips to face your body with your hands flat on the floor. Your knees are a little bit apart. Press down through your feet and lift up your hips. So you can stay here or you can lift one leg out. Bring that foot down and lift one leg out. And bring that foot down. Rest your bottom down and lower all the way down to your back. Great work. Let your arms come by your sides. Pull your feet in real close to your body. They're still a little bit apart. Press through your feet and lift your hips for bridge pose. And then slowly lower your back down. Good. Take your arms out to the side and let both legs come over to one side for a twist. And then legs back to center. And both legs over to the other side. And just starting to relax a little bit. And both legs back to center. You can let your legs come down long on the mat. The arms come down by the sides and take up as much room as you need to feel comfortable here. And before just taking a moment of silence and relaxation, just start by closing your eyes and bringing the mind back onto that piece of fruit. Whether it was one that you had or you used your imagination with my orange, either one is fine. Just bring that piece of fruit to mind. And then bring to mind the color of that fruit. And then think about how the fruit felt or what you imagine it felt like in your hand. Thinking again of the sounds that were created as you peeled it. The smells of that fruit. And then imagine the actual taste. And then just let your mind be quiet, your body be still for a few moments. And then slowly wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe take that big, long stretch, arms reach overhead. And then bend your knees. Roll onto your side. And come up to a seat. You can close your eyes, bringing your hands together at your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you learned a little bit about mindfulness and you had fun doing so. Have a great day.